Getting started, you're going to need 1 yard of heavier weight fabric. I recommend canvas or twill, and also 1 yard of lining. You'll need 2 yards of 1-inch webbing and one 1-inch buckle set, 2 16-inch zippers, and lastly you need your pattern, and this pattern is available at properfitclothing.com. Super easy to use, just download it, print it, and you're ready to go. And the links for all the supplies will be in the description, so definitely go check that out. Getting started, go ahead and trace and cut out your pattern. And make sure you cut lining for the side panel, the zipper panels, and the main panels. You'll also want to cut 4 of the strap panels, 1 front pocket panel, and be sure to cut lining for both the zipper and the side panels for the pocket. Grab your zipper panels, both the outside and the lining, and you're only going to need 2 of them to start. So take your lining, place it on the back of the zipper and the right side of the outer layer on the front side of the zipper. Pin it on and sew across that edge. And make sure you have the zipper panel in the center of that zipper. And make sure you're starting with the pocket zipper panels. Then go ahead and fold those panels towards the outside and top stitch along that edge. Then grab your other 2 zipper panels, and we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and make sure that you have the zipper panels lined up exactly. Fold those panels out and top stitch along that edge. Grab both of your made side panels and then grab your zipper panel, place the right sides together, sandwiching that zipper panel in between the lining and the outside layer. And these will be the side panels for the pocket. And you're going to want to sew that shorter edge over the zipper. Once you have that sewn on, you can go ahead and snip the zipper end off. Flip the side panels down and go ahead and add a top stitch along that seam.
Samsung.
Now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other side. Just go ahead and invert those side panels and pin it on. Before you start sewing, make sure that zipper train is moved towards the inside of that panel. Go ahead and trim that zipper, flip the right sides out, and top stitch along that edge. Mark the centers of the completed side panel and also the centers of your pocket main panel. And what you want to do is line those centers up and pin all the way around the outside edge. And then go ahead and sew along that entire outside edge. This part can be a little bit tricky, so definitely just take your time. At this point, I like to pop the right side out just to make sure that all the edges are completely sewn and it's not missing any layers. Then flip it inside out, and what you're going to do is add bias tape around this inside edge to clean it up and make it a little bit stronger. So we're going to be using a double fold bias tape binder to clean up those edges, and you can definitely get these for domestic sewing machines too. We're going to have links in the description. So go ahead and cut out long pieces of bias tape that are the right measurements to the width of your binder. The other option is to use a bias tape making kit, and this is where you pretty much just make your own bias tape. And it comes with a presser foot that helps you attach the bias tape to your garment. And it's pretty simple to use. All you have to do is cut a strip, feed it through, and iron it. And after that, it works the same as the bias tape. You just fold it over and sew it on, or you use that attachment. And it's fairly simple to add whatever method you choose to do, and it's going to make that inside look a lot cleaner and more professional. Grab your main panel, mark 4.5 inches from the bottom, and then mark the centers of that bag. And what you're going to do is place it on that mark on the main panel and pin it across. And make sure that pocket is going perfectly straight across the panel. Then sew about 1/4 inch from that edge.
This is what you do. Something more than it was. Yes.
Then place that main panel with the pocket over your lining. Pin around the outside edge and make sure that pocket is also pinned onto that main panel because you're going to be sewing around that entire outside edge, connecting all those panels together. And once you have it pinned on, go ahead and sew all the way around that outside edge as close as you can to that edge.
Right now. There it is again.
Cut a 12.5 piece of your 1-inch webbing and make even marks across, and what you're going to do is sew it on in the center of that top portion of the main panel. And you're going to be stitching just on those marks, so do a few back and forth stitches.
This is what you do. Something more than it was. I like that, don't you?
Now grab your main zipper panels and we're going to do the exact same thing that we did for the pocket. Sandwiching that zipper in between those zipper panels. And once you have it pinned in the center of that zipper, go ahead and sew along that edge. Then go ahead and fold those panels towards the outside and top stitch along that edge. Then grab your other two zipper panels and we're going to do the exact same thing on the opposite side, and make sure that you have the zipper panels lined up exactly.
There it is again, so strong.
Fold those panels out and top stitch along that edge.
Oh yes. Set that man that. Reaching out to hurting people.
Grab both of your made side panels and then grab your zipper panel. Place the right sides together, sandwiching that zipper panel in between the lining and the outside layer. And you're going to want to sew that shorter edge over the zipper.
Something more than it was.
Once you have that sewn on, you can go ahead and snip the zipper end off. Flip the side panels down and go ahead and add a top stitch along that seam. Now we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing to the other side. Just go ahead and invert those side panels and pin it on. Before you start sewing, make sure that zipper train is moved towards the inside of that panel. Go ahead and trim that zipper, flip the right sides out, and top stitch along that edge. Grab your main panel and your side panel, mark the centers on both the side panel and the main panel, and what you want to do is line those centers up and pin all the way around the outside edge, just like we did on the pocket panel. Trim the webbing remainders. The right side out and go ahead and check to make sure all the layers are sewn together. Cut two 20-inch pieces of your webbing and grab your strap panels. Starting with one set of panels, place the right sides together and grab your webbing and sandwich it in between those panels, sticking out a little bit at the top. Pin those into position and sew all the way around the outside edge. Once it's sewn on, flip it right side out. Once the right side is out, you're going to want to do a top stitch all the way around the outside edge. Then repeat this process for your other strap. With those straps, you're going to take your main panel back and your main panel back lining and mark 2.5 inches down from the top. Place the outer layer exactly over the lining and line those straps up on those marks. With those straps pinned on, go ahead and sew all the way around the outside edge as close as you can to that edge. And just like the front panels, mark the centers, line them up, and pin all the way around the outside edge. and then go ahead and sew along that entire outside edge. And then again, add that bias tape around both of those inside edges. Grab your buckle and feed the webbing through the end that doesn't have the adjuster. Roll that end over twice and stitch across so you have a nice clean hem. And I like to stitch back and forth a few times to make it nice and strong. Grab your strap adjuster and feed it through the webbing on the other side. Grab the other side of the buckle and feed the webbing through the front and then back down through the back. Pull some of the webbing out and then feed it through the middle of that strap adjuster and back out. It's gonna loop through the center of that strap adjuster. Then you're gonna fold it over twice and stitch across. And again, do a few back and forths to really secure it down. Now we're gonna go ahead and add zipper pulls, and you can either use parachute cord or regular zipper pulls that you buy online. And we're gonna go ahead and use the ones that you buy online. They're super easy to use. All you have to do is feed them through your zipper and pull them back through and tighten them. And there you have it, your bag is complete. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to like, subscribe, comment, let us know what you think. We're gonna keep the videos coming at you, so we'll see you next time.